Welcome to Buckeyes Tomorrow Morning for Monday, March 24th. I'm your host, Tom Orr. The Texas game in 159 days, the game against Michigan in 250 days. If you're planning your next event, make it unforgettable with Grateful Griddle, Columbus's favorite food truck, serving up smash burgers, gourmet sandwiches, and good vibes. Book your catering today at GratefulGriddleOH.com. Buckeyes will be back out on the practice field on Monday. We will be back at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. We're set to talk to Ryan Day, Matt Patricia, and Brian Hartline following practice today, so that'll be exciting. We'll have lots of new information for you coming up all day at youtube.com/BuckeyeHuddle and BuckeyeHuddle.com. But before we get there, I want to talk a little bit about the running backs, and going to be mostly talking about the new transfer running back, C.J. Donaldson, today. Going to let you hear from new Ohio State running backs coach Carlos Locklyn and Donaldson himself about his transition to Ohio State, and a little bit about some of the other running backs as well from Locklyn. But let's start with Carlos Locklyn. First of all, his first day, we talked to him on the first day of spring practice. He's always just a fascinating guy to watch, coach, and to listen to, talk about coaching. And he came out, just absolutely on fire, as he always seems to. Just a lot of intensity out of Carlos Locklyn on day one of spring ball.
Well, I always tell the backs, always a little thing. So be intentional about what you're working on. So I got to be intentional about what I'm pouring into them, because everything starts with me. They're going to take on my mindset, and if I come out here lukewarm with lukewarm enthusiasm, they're going to be the same way. I don't coach that way. So every day I come out here, I attack this field. That's whether I'm feeling well, whether I'm sick, because those backs, when Coach Dave hired me, I told them they're gonna feed off my personality. So I always tell people all the time, if your kid's soft, you soft. Go look in the mirror. So that's why I come out here like that.
Now on to C.J. Donaldson, and this is Locklyn again, getting a chance to talk about him a little bit. Someone asked about the fact that it looked like, C.J. Donaldson, maybe his weight was down a little bit from where he was as a player at West Virginia before he transferred to Ohio State. You're going to hear a little bit from Donaldson in a little bit, but what were Carlos Locklyn's conversations like during the portal recruiting process?
Yep, came in at 244 pounds. I challenged him during the process of getting him here, because he could have went other places. And he said he felt like I could get him ready. And I told him, I said, well, part of that's going to be discipline and getting his weight down. And he went from 244 to 226. I'm proud of him. But that just showed the mindset that he has to be disciplined and challenge himself. And he looks good right now.
Now that Donaldson is in Columbus and on the field for Ohio State, what are his early impressions of C.J. Donaldson?
Well, I look at him as a slasher. He has good enough speed, great hands, but he's a slasher, big guy. Big guys often win with the little guys, so he's going to fall forward. But I look at him as a slasher with power. He got really good feet for a big guy, really good hands and good vision. So it's going to help him a little bit with probably his longer speed, but he looks good.
What made C.J. Donaldson someone that Carlos Locklyn was interested in when he was in the transfer portal?
The versatility. The fact that he played, he was a guy that I looked at when he was in high school at Gulliver Prep. He was a high school receiver, a pretty good receiver. But then, they tried to move him to tight end, and they ended up moving to running back. So the versatility, he be able to do a lot of things. A big body guy that can catch the ball. He can run between the tackles. His feet are quicker than what you think for a big guy. He got really good feet and good balance. So that's what makes him good. That's what I saw in him.
Was it something that Carlos Locklyn felt was important for them to get a bigger back, especially for those goal line situations and in the red zone?
I have my own opinion on the size thing when it comes in the red zone. I had Jordan James out of Oregon, and he was my red zone running, short yardage runner as a freshman. He probably weighed 210, 205, which is not very big. But that ain't got nothing to do with getting. Some guys just got a nose for sticking the ball in the end zone. He played with a lot of aggression, downhill running. So that could be CJ, that could be James, or it could be the freshman Bo Jackson. It's just whoever has a nose for getting in the end zone. That's who I'm gonna roll with anyway.
And before we get to C.J. Donaldson, going to get a couple quick questions in on the freshman running backs, the two guys who are already here, Bo Jackson and Isaiah West. So what does Carlos Locklyn need to see this spring out of those freshman running backs to know that they're maybe ready to go for the fall?
The first thing, will they own the ball? No, what they do, the little small detail things, take care of the ball. The second thing would be how good are they in pass pro, because that's the hardest thing for high school backs, because they're not really doing the high school level. Do you have an understanding of pass pro? But all that falls on who? Me. So, like Coach Day said, I'm the head coach in my room. So, but that's what I need to see first, and everything else, I work on the strengths and weaknesses to help him become what he need to be.
And Isaiah West is a little banged up right now, but is Carlos Locklyn comfortable, broadly speaking, with where those two freshmen, Isaiah West and Bo Jackson, are right now?
Yeah, I think they're going to be fine. Like I said, I tell all the young guys, it's a marathon, not a sprint. First thing first, you better earn a spot on special teams. You earn a spot on special teams, then you earn the right to be a Buckeye RB. So they get out there on the field. So, I think they're trending in the right direction. This is first practice. It wasn't bad. Something to build off of. Plenty of stuff to work on, though.
All right, now on to CJ Donaldson, and he was asked, how much he's changed physically since he got to Ohio State. You already heard sort of Carlos Locklyn's side of this. Here's what Donaldson had to say about that.
I'm 18 pounds lighter. I'm 226 pounds now. I was 243, I think, the day I got here, and Coach Mick said that's going to change quickly. Coach Locke wanted me to get down to a size where I could, still use my physical attributes very well, and also be more explosive in the run game and play more downs than I did at my previous university.
That's one of those conversations it would be hard to think of and having in the workplace. Like, hey, you probably need to drop some weight. That doesn't seem like something that would probably come up around the office water cooler all that often. But football, well, it's a little bit of a different situation. So what was that conversation actually like?
It was like an up and down, because my senior year of high school, I'm abnormal. I was 225 pounds as a senior in high school playing wide receiver. So I was like, man, I did have a great year. I played a lot more snaps that year, But at 240, I had some advantages, but I have more advantages now, being at this weight, being able to play longer and, have a more impact on the game of football with, just being this weight.
And how have the results been? How has he seen the results of that weight loss so far?
Been off the charts. They developed me like from day one, like since the day I stepped on campus. We worked out. We talk about my eating habits, where I need to get to, my body weight, what I needed to improve on to develop into an NFL running back and have an opportunity to get to that level, and just them invested into me as much as possible, like day in, day out. They invest a lot.
What went into C.J. Donaldson's decision to transfer when he decided to leave West Virginia, and what made him decide he was going to come to Ohio State?
It was a lot into it. You got to think about your family, you, and like what do you want to get out of this? This is my last opportunity, guaranteed opportunity to have a chance to play football, because the next level is not promised. You have to, as you say, earn that. So I just, just took a chance on myself. You got to bet on yourself at all times.
How has that adjustment to Ohio State been so far? You're going to hear him talk about someone, and he just kind of like vaguely mentions him. He's talking about Tywone Malone, who is a defensive tackle who transferred from Ole Miss to Ohio State a couple years ago. They're pretty good friends. So when he talks about someone, it was Tywone Malone, and Tywone Malone was like sitting there listening to the interview. So you'll hear him kind of like reference someone. That's who he's talking about here.
Amazing. I got one of my great friends right here, Ty. He kind of like, that's big bro. He kind of like, take me under his wing, tell me the things to do and what not to do, because he was transferred just like me too. So he tells me like, hey, don't do that. We don't do that here. Do this, we do that here. So, just, the family, then I got other guys on the team who I previously played against, like Jeremiah Smith, Brandon Ennis, Kenyatta. So I kind of was like familiar with like a couple players on the team, and they kind of brought me along as a team, as I was transitioning to the program.
Well, Donaldson and Tywone Malone and everyone else will be back on the practice field Monday morning at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. We will be there for interviews with head coach Ryan Day, offensive coordinator Brian Hartline, defensive coordinator Matt Patricia. After that practice, we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about coming up all day long at BuckeyeHuddle.com and YouTube.com/BuckeyeHuddle. We hope to see you there. That'll do it for today. Thank you guys all for joining us. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.